They say if the generator in his hotel, he has a hotel, goes down, he will send the boys to the bush to go and be demolishing people's fence and grabbing people's land. These are young men in their 20s, in their 30s. And tomorrow, they will tell you that God has dealt with them. When you don't know who you are, your purpose, and what you're supposed to be doing, those are the kind, anybody that sees you will grab you and put in his own agenda, is it not? So please, let's try and guide the young ones around us and let them know that there is a process. If you don't follow that right process, just like us, if you don't pass well, like I tell my children, your first ticket to success is good O-level results. Primary to secondary may not matter because they don't really grade them, but good O-level results is the first ticket to success in life that will give you very good schools. Then your secondary school results will take you to university. If you don't have A's, if you don't have certain qualification, you can't even get good schools or scholarship, is it not? So they'll be going to put you on, is it VC's list, those PR lists, but the good ones have gotten the admission, bam, at the first instant. So from there, you're choosing your courses. Is your ability to do well in secondary school that, are you a science or are you an art? That's where you are begin to identify who you are and what you want to do in life. So this thing, there's a process to everything. And you cannot jump process. Anytime you jump process, you crash, you come back and start again. Then what are my limitations? Let's know that in life that there are limitations. So have you found what your limiting beliefs are? Like me, I had so many, that affected me. I shared some with you. And I know many of us do have too. Then what are your motivations? There must be something that motivates you. If you don't have any motivation, whatever you want to do in life, go and find a mentor on social media. Let them begin to motivate you. Find out how they have succeeded in that area because you're interested in that area. Then the last but not the least is, what will you be remembered for? This is the journey of self-discovery and self-awareness, because for you to function in the vocal world, if you cannot identify who you are, then you have not started the journey. The journey is still very far. Then the second school of thought for self-discovery and self-awareness is from one of our own, a life coach I respect so much. He said that he divided the self-discovery journey into Monday to Sunday or Saturday. He said between the age of 0 to 10 years, that is your Monday morning, or your day 1, Monday. And for you, what you should be concentrating on is discovery season. That's what he calls the season. That is the season of discovery. You see the same thing but I'm just giving different schools of thoughts. Then from 11 to 20 years, that is your Tuesday. And that is the time, if you have discovered yourself, you begin to practice what you have discovered that you're good at. Then the Wednesday is for the ages of 21 to 30 years, your Wednesday. When you have discovered who you are and what you can do, you begin to practice them and you begin to come on stage to perform. That is at the age. But by then, remember, you must have graduated from university, so you're already beginning to perform. Maybe you're a medical doctor, so you have started practicing at that stage, your Wednesday. Your Thursday is 31 to 40 years. That's when you begin to do mastery. As you begin to do your work, you begin to do professional exams, you begin to find how to succeed, and you're going towards mastery. Then, okay. Then age 41 to 50 is your Friday, which is mentoring and multiplication. By this age now, you have mastered, so you're beginning to, produce your put yourself back, like what we are here. Most of us, I'm sure, we're at this age of managerial position. You're already mentoring people because you have learned, and people are looking up to you to be able to have an impact on them. And 51 to 60 years is your Saturday. At this place now, all the suffering you have done from 0 to 50 years, from 51 to 60 years is where you have your returns, recreation, and rebranding. Here, many people that have made it, the likes of Tony Elumelu them, the likes of Dangote them, the likes of Herbert Wingwe them that we just lost very last week. They have made so much money and impact. Now, they are rebranding. Most of them are now philanthropists, you know. They are doing things and recreating and doing things for their next journey. Then 61 to 70 is your Sunday. This is your resting and rejuvenation period. And this guy said that 70 and above, that in a public holiday, you don't say that when you're 70. Najara, according to Bible, that 70 and above is they are still in the office. Them, you know, our own cases are abnormal situation. So this guy's, what is his name again? Is it Collins? I'm trying to remember the name of this guy. The Nigerian life coach that came up with this postulation. So, you don't have any business working over the weekend if you have done well for yourself. Which one is weekend? Weekend is Saturday, Sunday. And this one, of course, is public holiday. So if you've done well, most of us, I'm sure we're between the age of maybe 45, 60. Is it not? What is your retirement age in NDDs? 60. So most of us are below 60. So you can see that anytime you wake up is your morning, according to my Igbo language. Don't think that time has gone or you cannot do anything. Start running. You can still do some corrections. You can still achieve a lot with even 2, 3 years, 4 years. Okay, tomorrow is a topic on retirement. You know, people think that it's 5 to 10 years to their retirement, they start planning retirement. No. Any day you start work, you begin to plan on how to retire. Because retirement can be by choice or by force, is it not? You can be planning, oh, maybe God forbid the person has an accident. And your job is the kind of job that you need your hand or your leg and those things that affect, or even any part of your body. Retirement has come. Oh. They can decide with what is happening in the world today. We want to cut down on our staff strength. And they will come. Maybe you're not one of the best in they will retire you. So it's by choice. It can be by choice or it can be by force. So let's not begin to think about retirement on the day of when we are getting close, 5 to 10 years. So that's just by the way. So self-discovery, the third school of thought. We know Jack Ma, Alibaba. Do you know of Alibaba? He was talking to young people. He said, before the age of 20 years, be the best learner you can. Before the age of 30, work with the best leaders that make as many mistakes as you can. At the age of 30, between 30 and 40, better work for yourself by running your own business if you want to be an entrepreneur. This is for those that want to be entrepreneurs. But even at that, he's talking to all of us. At the age of 40, 50, focus on doing only what you love. It's not time to begin to say, do I want to be a doctor? Do I want to be a lawyer? At the age of 50, 40, 50, when people are already gotten there, do you understand? But there are so many people that are still here now. No? They've not discovered themselves. Me, I discovered my career at a very tender age, but I did not discover myself as a person. So you can discover one, you will not discover another. And until you discover both, you will still be having some crisis managing yourself and your career. Then 50 to 60 years that you should work for and with young people. The age I am now, there are so many things that I can't do. I need younger people to succeed. Just like this ICT thing. No matter how I've tried to use Oboju to learn it, you see my son started having computer from nursery. Each of them had their own system in their school at 3 years. Me, I did a computer elective at university in I graduated in 1990, about 1989 or there. No, I think it was in year 2, about 1988. I never saw computer. The only thing they told us was COBOL, how to is it right software? COBOL, that was the language, the computer language in those days. And it was just very skeletal thing. The person that was even teaching wasn't even serious. So it's at this, thank God I worked in the bank because it helped me to be computer literate to a large extent. Many of my age mates cannot grapple with these things, and it's a very big problem. Even the personal assistant of Herbert Wigwe, when he was giving his own tribute, said that his boss was very good in everywhere, but the only one place he had issues was in computer. That's why that he even had the key to his room, because there are things he wants to do. He wants to enter his room when he's sleeping, take it and go and work. Do you understand? So it's something that we need to know our strengths and our weaknesses. And at this age, we need a lot of young people. So if you have not discovered yourself, you have not improved on anything or doing anything, what do you now have to pass on to the younger ones? Or how do you manage these younger ones? Because they can mess you up. If you want to try, if you're an entrepreneur, you have staff, and you don't know anything, and you're relying on them, the day they will mess you up, ordinary driving self, your driver, I know drivers have told their madam, take your key. On a highway, say, I no drive again. Is it not true? So you can imagine if you don't know how to drive. You can imagine if you don't know how to operate any system now. It's a very big problem. So self-discovery and self-awareness. So if you know yourself, you know how to guide yourself, guide your job, guide your future against this. Then the last one for Jack Ma says 60 and above, it's time to relax and enjoy yourself on the beach and under the sun and all that. And that's where we are heading, most of us. So if you still have some crisis management in self-discovery, please, I'm sure after today you go and look more on this. This is another school of thought. You say, call it the wheel of life, your life balance sheets. The same way we have our financial balance sheets, the same way we have our life balance sheet, is your own life balanced. It's in self-discovery that you find out whether your life is balanced or not. If you go to this wheel of life, you know many people, because they don't understand this or they've never heard about this, they pursue one side of their life at the detriment of the other side. And at the end of the day, you will always pay for it. Like many of us that are pursuing career at the detriment of our children. We don't have time for family and children. You make all the money and your children become drug addicts or useless. Either they didn't do well in school, they are not doing well in school, or they join bad gangs. So relationship is one. We must balance our relationship. This Darren Hardy is the one that came up with this postulation. And if you go to his book, Compound Effects, you see details. He gave us templates. Day by day, how much time do you, if it's in terms of a relationship, how much time do you make for your family in a week, in a day, in a week? How much time do you even make for yourself? You know, this guy went into details with this. In case you're interested in knowing that family, all these things, you must balance career, business, finance, spiritual. So at the end of the day, if you score yourself on daily, weekly, and monthly basis, come and put it on a wheel. If your wheel is balanced, that is when you know that you're doing well. But you find out that most times, one leg will up, the other one will be down. You'll be doing well maybe in your career, but you're not doing well in your health and mental aspects of state of the wheel. So this helps you to be able to create that balance. And with that balance, you will be able to function in the world, the VUCA world we are talking today. If you don't have balance in this area, it will be tough. You may not have 100, your wheel may never balance that, but at least let the differences not be too, don't have 90% in one, 30% in one, do you understand? And when you're able to weigh these things on the scale, you will know the area that you need to work on. And every 6 months or once a year, even if it's once a year or twice a year, you can look at your will and see how well you are doing. And that's where I said we must have accountability partners. You can't do it alone. You must have people that are going the same way you're going, that have the same vision, the same goal, so that I can help one another to be able to achieve this. these things cannot be achieved alone. Then your lifestyle, that is the last one. All right, self-discovery. Another school of thoughts. Understanding your personality type. How many school of thoughts have we've been on self-discovery since? So? And these are different people that have gone through life. Tim LaHaye and Meyer Briggs, personality types. I read this book when I was in the 90s, early 90s, about 93. Spirit Control Temperament. I used to be very hot-tempered and I didn't used to see anybody when I was younger. You know Shakara now. So I got a mentor that got me into reading and gave me most of these books. Tough Time Never Lasts, Tough People Do, Think and Grow Rich. All those books, I read them as a very young graduate. So they helped me a lot. This one, Spirit Control Temperament, was part of this book. And another book I read, What's on Your Mind, by Malin Carothers. I don't know who has read that book before. These two books helped me in dealing with my temperaments. But if you read these two books, this one is telling us that there are different personality types. So after reading that book, if I'm talking to you and you're behaving, I'm trying to place your personality type so that I know how to excuse you and make excuses for you so that I don't have problem. That's what this book did for me. So if you've not read it, please try and go and read it. So Tim LaHaye said that there are 4 personality types. There's one that is called choleric. The second one is sanguine. The one is phlegmatic. And the other one melancholy. This man came, Mary said that this grammar is too much for people to decode. So he now went to use the military terminology. He said that his own, he will classify them. Choleric is a general in this palace. Then this man says socializer is the sanguine. Then the team player is the phlegmatic. And the melancholy is the detective. And these personality types, they are known for different things. If you have 2 generals in the house, even if he's a team leader or team head and staff, that's why I told you that I made some mistakes. I didn't understand myself. I know I'm a general. I was a predominant general. But with the training I have now, I have been able to balance these personality types. If I see a general, I'll take the position of a team player or a detective. I'll play down because I want to achieve something. But when I didn't know, my bosses were generals, and me, the knowledge I had, I'll be challenging them openly sometimes in some of the things we used to do, and that used to bring clashes between me and them. But now that I know, if I had known what I know now, there would have been a better way to manage them that time, and I still achieved the result I wanted. So you see why it's important that we understand these things. So just like we have the generals in the army, you know, the typical general takes no for an answer. They are very arrogant people. When they come in here, you know, they can be calm, but the air they carry will tell you that there's something about this guy. And he's obeyed before the last complaint. So you cannot tell me to do something, and I'm seeing that what you're telling me will not help us. I say, oh God, no, now I'm arguing. I should have just taken it, even if I didn't act on it, I should find out a better time to come back and tell my boss that, look, oh, this thing you say, I've tried it, but why don't we do it? No, because I didn't understand my personality type then. I didn't know these things. So it's not a question of age or whatever. It's whenever you know, begin to run with it. So these are the personality types. If you have a socializer in your team as a team member, will you tell him anything secret? Because socializers are the this minute is on this table. Do you know what Sister Lina said? You know, he will carry you from like this, like a butterfly. He will perch everywhere. At the end of the day, you can't put him down. So if you know these people, these kind of people are not people to give serious assignments in a team or in an organization. You can send them to go and open doors for you, and you know what I mean. But when it comes to serious-minded things, you don't get them in. They won't even be there. When you want to put them down based on what they've said, they disappear. You won't see them anywhere. So these are personality types that if you understand, when you're dealing with the uncertainty in the world today, it will help you a great deal to know how to deal with people, even your husband and your wife and your children. These things are not limited to office environments. So you can imagine when there are 2 generals as husband and wife in the house is always catching. That's why you see husband and wife fighting. Because as a woman, if you understand you're a general, your husband is a general, you know when to mellow down for him. Do you understand? So that you don't fight. Or how to get him to believe in what you're saying so that there will be peace. And if you're a man too, you know how to manage your wife. And you find out that when you combine these personality types, like the detectives, since that time we came in here, a detective will be looking at me like, what is this lady saying? They are trying to find faults in everything that you're doing. Very pessimistic. But you need them for strategic thinking and strategic planning. Because if you're planning, you don't have a detective in your team, in personality type, you will not see the flaws that will make that thing to fail. The story of who will bear the cat. You know the story? Who knows the story of who will bear the cat? These people say that this cat has been disturbing them. That is the mouse or mice. They now went into meeting. What do we do to deal with these cats? So they were meeting. The detective cat was busy looking at them. They don't talk in meetings, so most of the time they won't make any contribution. They will just be listening. When you people finish, you just raise one hand and ask one question that will scatter the whole thing you people have done. Do you understand? So this detective rat was just listening. When they finished, said they will go and tie rope with bell on the neck of cats, so that when the cat is coming, they will hear the bell ringing and they will all run away as rats. So when they finish, good plan, very good. The detective can now ask them, so who will bell the cat? Who will go and belt the cats with that rope and the bell? And that was how the plan scattered. Do you understand? Because before you can go and touch the cat, now it will chop you before you even reach there. So these are the personality types. And if we can discover ourselves where we belong, we will now know when people that are generals come and they are talking to you, like you can have a shop and you have a general walk into a general customer, a general trade customer walk into your shop. You know they come with an air. They can even look down on your product and say, oh, these are cheap Nigerian made stuff. And you are another general shop owner, you're there. You say, who is this one that is coming to? Do you understand? You easily get infuriated by that person's comment or attitude. But now that you know that this is a general, you become a team player or a socializer. You can crack joke based on what is, so that you don't get yourself angry. Or you can be a team player or take the position of a detective to even know where he's coming and where he's going before you respond. Or you can, so by the time you do that, his comment did not anger you. You already know his type of person, and you now tell him something that will allay his fears or counter his fears positively for you to make your sales. Because ultimately, you put your goods to sale, is it not? So if we are making sense, so let me say yeah. Let me hear say yeah. All right. So the next one, we have dealt with self-discovery, self-awareness. If after all this school of thoughts, you cannot discover yourself with what you have heard today, then there's a problem. Do you understand? Then we can't help you. So number 2 thing that we need to look at for us to be able to function in the vocal world is developing a growth mindset. There are different types of mindsets. And let me tell you, this mindset is everything. When you're talking about self-discovery, it starts with your mindset. Because if you don't believe you can never. Do you understand? And these are the limiting beliefs. You see, can't is something that I tell my children, I don't want to hear it in your mouth. Can't. I don't like that language from anybody. I can, yes, I can. With God, and even as Christians, I don't know whether we have it in Quran or Islamic, but as Christians, they say with God, all things are possible. Most times we read Bible, we don't believe, we don't practice it. All things are possible, and I'm a living testimony that with God, all things are possible. That God will always make a way when there is no way. I am a living testimony or testament. So, the average adult human brain has the ability to store equivalent of 2.5 million gigabytes digital memory. That means we're not even using up to 1/100% of our brain. And that's why they say children at the age of 6 have the capacity to learn about a minimum of 6 languages. But here in Nigeria, they say, don't speak vernacular to them. You will confuse their English. But Yoruba people that will speak Yoruba in the house, speak it everywhere. Their children are still doing well in English language. Do you understand? You see what mindset can do to us. So please, we must develop a growth mindset if we will be able to function in this world. Like I said, I'm rushing. If you be prompting me, when it's 11:30, where are we? Okay, I should run it because at least we should have like 10-15 minutes to interact. So there are two types of mindsets. We have the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. And people with the fixed mindset say that intelligence and talent are fixed at birth. The brain is static. Talent and giftedness are permanent. Now, so if they run for my family, we don't know maths. We know they know maths in my family. Everybody knows they know maths. There is nothing like that. It's a fixed mindset. Because if you bring out your time and with a good teacher, you will learn mathematics. The brain has capacity to expand. As you're giving it things, it's expanding. That's what we just heard now, is it not? With the computer example. So there's nothing like, that is how it runs in my family. At the age of 30, many of us marry late. You know, all manners of limiting beliefs. And we're carrying it with pride and limiting ourselves and our personal development. Then the next one is the growth mindset. The growth mindset that says that intelligence and talent can go up or down. The brain is malleable, and every time you learn something new, the brain forms new connections. That's what is saying by this 2.5 million gigabyte. So if you sit down and say, this is how it is in my family, you don't learn anything, the brain is there, static with you, at that level. That's what he's saying. So you see, for us to function in the world today, with the volatility of things, and we must adopt the growth mindset. So, what are your limiting beliefs? They are your mindset or fixed mindset. It's not anything. It does not exist. As long as we know, and Bible has said, and experience and practical has shown us, you can be anything. There's a school, my son's school, Celos Pride School, primary school. The lady practices what they call multiple intelligence system of education. A very forward-thinking proprietress. Before anything comes out globally, she's captured this. She competes with people in Lagos when it comes to education and all these things. So, and before she implements anything, she will call parents, PTA. She will tell parents, please, we don't want when we finish in school, the children get home. You'll be fighting with them, I will not understand where they are coming from. So she will equally teach parents what we are doing, so that when you're doing homework with your children, you can go in line with what they are being taught in school with your own understanding. Because most times in those days, people like me that are banker, when I come back, like, have you done your homework? Oh yeah, come. You know, trying to balance your life and your domestic. I say, come and sit down. I would now say, my daughter will say, Mommy, this is how. I say, come and shut up. Your teacher is good, but me too. Me, I know something. You know? You see, the system, the system they're using to teach them is not the one I was used to. So when I don't understand it, I will try to teach her based on what I know. So when the feedback got back to school, they now called parents and now took us along with the children so that at homework you can understand what they are doing and how they are coming. So at the end of the day, if I did homework with my daughter 3 times or 4 times throughout her school years when I was in the bank, those 4 times there must be cry at the end of the day, because we would disagree and the girl will get frustrated, me will get frustrated, everybody will cry and we'll go and sleep. So that's what mindset can do. So multiple intelligence system of education, somebody how believe that there's no child that is a dullard. There's something good in every child. It's only the system of learning that is different for different people. Some people learn like me. When I was in school, I never went to the library. If I go to the library, I'll sleep. But I'm in my room reading with some soft background music, and I'm at my utmost assimilation level. If I go to library, I'll go there and sleep and come back. So, but people cannot read under such condition. They have to go to the library. So you must discover yourself. Everything still goes back to self-discovery, is it not? Until you discover yourself, you cannot make progress. So that some children, they have it. Many people that have that had disadvantaged children, we are rushing their children to that school because any child that goes there, they will bring out the best in that child. You see your child different. The ones that they have condemned in other schools, you come and see the child flourishing. Because you understand the psychology of the children, and the system of education they are using is one that helps you. There's not like you take first, second, and third in all the subjects. When they are doing their prize speech and prize giving day, they use those different intelligence levels they are using teaching children to judge the best. Because if you're good in learning with music, you may not be good in learning outside nature, the natural environment. You may not be good in learning in the typical English way of, the kind of interpersonal, intrapersonal, and all personalities and all that. So they're teaching you according to your personality type. That's what that system of education is saying. So at the end of the day, you see children and people learning. So to develop a growth mindset, we must understand the difference between the fixed and the growth mindset. For intelligence level, those that say they are fixed, they have fixed mindset, they are not ready to learn anything, they believe that they cannot change, that they are born that way and that's how they are. So, but those with growth mindset say, no, intelligence can be developed. If you give me the enabling environment, good books and good teacher, I will do better. Just like us in Nigeria here. You see our children and our people going abroad and doing exploit. But in Nigeria here, they are not functioning because we don't have enabling environments, is it not? So it's the same thing. So if you go with that mentality abroad, that the way it is in Nigeria is the way it is there, you will be frustrated there because that place, the system is better. It gives you more opportunities. Then challenges, when it comes to challenges, people with fixed mindset avoid anything that is a challenge. They will dodge it. But those with growth mindset will embrace challenges because it's in handling these things that you become more experienced and you come out better. In terms of obstacle, they give up very easily when they meet obstacle. People with fixed mindset. If there is any reason for the thing not to work, you see them, because they don't want to make any effort, they just give up easily. But those with growth mindset persist in the face of setbacks. Can you remember the man that came up with this electricity? How many times he tried? Do you understand? Me, I don't even have that level of patience if it's me. But that is one human being. And okay, look, even the Steve Jobs, at a point, the man was wearing